look at the first question. Okay, you can see that stick A is 5 cm, B is 4 cm. Okay, perhaps on your paper if you measure is 5 cm and 4 cm, but you don't need to measure it. Okay, now we want to know the ratio of A to B. Jingjie, how do you give me the ratio of A to B? 5 to 4, very simple, because it's 5 cm to 4 cm. Okay, I don't think anyone will have any problems with this. 5 cm is to 4 cm. Okay, now if I want to express as a ratio, express as a fraction. Okay, length of stick A over length of stick B. Isabel, what is it? 5 over 4, right? So it's 5 over 4. Now, how do we actually say it out? Is the length of stick A is 5 over 4 of stick B. So we know that this 5 here is for stick A, 4 here is for stick B. Okay, yes? Beyond? No, we don't need to write cm. Okay, we don't need, because fraction, we don't have units for it, right? Okay, why is it there's no cm? Example, if you have 5 cm over 4 cm, the cm, they cancel each other out, right? Okay, so there's no units. So you don't need to write 5 cm over 4 cm. Sorry? No, you just do it as homework later. Okay, I'll be going through with you first. Okay, next. When we want to say the ratio of B is to A, Adriana, what's the ratio? 4 is to 5. Then Gabriel, what is the fraction? 4 over 5. And likewise, if you want to describe it, we'll say the length of B is 4 over 5, 4/5 of the length of stick A. So you know that it's 4 units for A, 4 units for B and 5 units for A. Okay? Next. Now, I want to find the total length of stick A and stick B. 1T. 5 plus 4 equals to 9. Now, if I want to find the ratio of the length of A to the total length of A and B, Yongqian, 5 is to? Anyone has any questions so far? Quite easily done, right? First page. Let's do the next page. Now, for the next page, Maureen has 3 pencils and 8 pens. Jack, tell me. First one, A. 3 plus 8. And what does it give me, Dylan? Dylan Poe. 11. If I want to know the fraction of pencils over the total items, okay, Jingjie, 3 over 11. Okay, because total items is actually 11. Now, the number of pencils is what of the total numbers of pencils and pens? Sky. 3 over 11, good. Because we are supposed to write it as a fraction. Next, we want to find out the ratio of the number of pens to the total number of pencils and pens. Daryl. Eight is to 11. Now, if I want it as a fraction? Amish? 8 over 11. And then we want the number of pens to the total number. Of course, it's 8 over 11. So what we can see so far is, let's say if I have a ratio of A is to B, is actually equals to A over B. Yes or no? If I have a ratio of B is to A, what will be a fraction B? B over A. What we can observe so far, okay? Next. Just now we are only looking at 2 items and the ratio between 2 items. Now we will be looking at 3 different items. Okay, in this example is dogs, hamsters, birds. Right, we want to find the ratio of the dogs to the number of hamsters. Charlotte. Two is to 7. Now, when they say the number of dogs is what of the number of hamsters, okay, are they looking for a fraction here or are they looking for a ratio here? Fraction. Kelly, what's the fraction? 2 over 7. Because we know that 2 units for dogs, 7 units for hamsters. Now, I want to know the ratio of the number of birds to the number of dogs. Ernest? 3 is to 2. And when I want to have the number of birds is what of the numbers of dogs? Ryan? 3 over 2. Now, how to calculate the total number of pets? Leroy? 2 plus 7 plus 3 equals to? And what is the ratio of the number of dogs to the number of pets? Colin Chi? 2 is to 12. But do you read the word simplest form? 1 is to 6. Okay? Sometimes the question, even if they never ask you to express in the simplest form, even if they never ask you, okay, they never ask you to express in the simplest form, it's your responsibility to change it to the simplest form yourself during exams. The question never says simplest form. You must change it on your own. Okay? Now, when they say the number of dogs is blank of the total number of pets, Yun Song, 1 over 6. We do not say 2 over 12. Okay? Okay, let's look at the next question. Now, Pete played 18 tennis matches in a week. So Sam played 6 tennis matches in the same week. Find the ratio of the number of matches Pete played to the number of matches Sam played. So very simple. Pete is to Sam, right? First, we need to show the working. Is 18 is to 6. I want to see this working. Okay? Before you simplify it, we know 6 and 18, they have common factors, right? Okay, when I simplify it, Brendan. Jack, may I find out what you're doing? Can you do it later? Next, express the number of matches Sam played as a fraction of the number of matches Pete played. Okay, so when they say something like that, it means they are looking at Sam over Pete. Okay, so we are looking at Sam over Pete, which is equals to 6 over 18. I want to see the working for simplification, 1 over 3. Okay, I want to see the working and I want to see the simplification. Okay, express the number of matches Pete played as a fraction of the number of matches Sam played. Okay, so you need to understand from this statement, Pete over Sam, which is 18 over 6, which is equals to 3 over 1. Okay, we'll leave it like that because they want it as a fraction, right? Okay, we'll leave it as 3 over 1 because they want it as a fraction. Okay, Ryan, what are you doing? You don't need to write the answer. All these are so simple. Oh no, you do not need to write A and S. I don't want you to waste time. I think this is pretty straightforward. Just show me clear working. Express the number of matches Pete played as a fraction of the total number of matches the two boys played. Okay, so first of all, we need to find what's the total number. So we know I have a 18 and I have a 6, right? Which gives me a 24. Okay, so this will give me a 24. And I want Pete as a fraction of the total. Right, so I would have, how many matches did Pete play? 18, right? And total is 24. Beyond, what's the simplest form? 3 over 4, which is 3/4. Okay? Can? Next page, please. Okay. Zelina's mass is 3/5 of Magdalene's mass. Okay. Caroline, how many units is Zelina's mass? 3. Then Emma P, how many units is Magdalene's mass? 5 units. So it's very straightforward. 3 and 5. Okay, draw a model to compare the mass of Zelina and Magdalene. So I have Zelina, Magdalene. You just need to draw 3 units and 5 units. Okay. Express Magdalene's mass as a fraction of Zelina's mass. So it's M over Z, right? Colin Au, what is it? Five over 3. Okay. Then what is the ratio of Zelina's mass to Magdalene's mass? Araki. 3 is to 5. Now, what is the ratio of Magdalene's mass to the total? So I need to find the total, which is 3 plus 5 equals to 8. And I want Magdalene to total. Okay, Magdalene is how heavy? 5, right? 5 is to 8. So the last part, express Zelina's mass as a fraction. So I have Zelina over total. And you know that Zelina is how many units? 3, right? And the total is 8. Anyone has any problem so far?
No.
Okay. So let's look at the next page. Now I have weighted is 4 times as old as Hafiz. Okay. Who is older? Isabel. Sorry? Weighted, is it? Okay. So, find the ratio of Weighed's age to Hafiz's age. So, I have W to H. So, W to H, Shalene. 4:1. So, what fraction of Weighed's age is Hafiz's age? So, what fraction of Weighed's age is Hafiz's age? So, now, when they give you a question like this, do you think I should do Weighted over Hafiz or Hafiz over Weighted? What fraction of Weighed's age is Hafiz's age?
Wait, Hafiz over Wicked. Hafiz over Wicked.
I give you all 30 seconds to digest this. Can you see that it's actually different from the last few?
Yes.
It's actually different. The question is totally different right now. If you look at the last few, when you need to compare the last few. Previous questions, right, they say express the number of matches pit plate as a fraction of the number of matches sand plate. Okay? They always ask in terms of express Zelina's mass as a fraction of the total mass. Right? So is the phrasing is totally different. Okay? So supposedly you have 1 orange, 4 watermelon. Okay? The 1 orange, 4 watermelon. And the teacher asks you, what fraction of the fruits are watermelons? Will you put oranges first or watermelons first? Do you understand the phrasing or not? Because it's very worrying when the whole class, you suddenly tell me it's Weighted over Hafiz. What fractions of Weighed's age is Hafiz's age? Who is unclear this phrasing? Because exam, if you are unclear of this phrasing, that means you will get it wrong. Who find this ambiguous? Okay, so I need to do Hafiz over Weighted. In this case, Hafiz is 1, right? Weighted is 4. Right? Anyone has any problem? Leroy, clear? Okay, if you are unclear, please clarify now, because normally every year this type of question, a lot of kids get it wrong. What fraction of the total age is Hafiz's age? Sky, for this part, is what over what? Hafiz over total. Okay, so we need to know what's the total first. 1 plus 4 equals to 5. Now I want to have Hafiz over total equals to 1 over 5. Now, find the ratio of Weighed's age to their total age. So, Weighted to total. Weighted is 4 units or 1 unit? 4, right? And total is how many units? 5. Anyone has any problems so far? Okay, now Lisa earns 5 times as much money as Mindy. Jai earns 4/5 of what Lisa earns. So, if Mindy earns 1 unit, how many units did Lisa earn, Lauren? What? What is she talking about? What did she say? I can't hear. What did she say? What did you say? Belina, can you hear what she said? Can you repeat yourself because I can't hear you? Don't tell her the question, please. $25. Yeah, it's okay. You can copy question 7 25 times later during recess. Okay? Right? Recess today, no exam. Stay back, Lauren. This question 25 times, thank you. Right? So, Aisha, 5 units. My question was, if Mindy earns 1 unit, how many units did Lisa earn? So, if Lisa earned 5 units, right? How many units did Jai earn, Kaden? 4 units. You know 4/5 of 5 units is 4 units, right? Okay. Find the ratio of Mindy's salary to Lisa's salary, right? Jingjie. 1:5. Now, what fraction of Lisa's salary is Mindy's salary? Leroy, give me what over what? No, I want to see what is over what. It's who over who? You sure it's Mindy over Lisa and not Lisa over Mindy? Are you sure? Do you read the question? Very sure. Who agrees with him? Put down your hand. He asked you to copy this question 25 times during recess. Not paying attention, right? I can hear him so clearly, you cannot hear him. Better pay attention. Okay, so we have Mindy over Lisa, right? So Mindy is how many? Is 1, right? Over 5. Okay, next. How many times of Mindy's salary does Jai earn? Just now we concluded that Mindy is 1 unit. Jai is how many units? 4, right? So 1 unit and 4 unit, how many times is that? 4 times, right? Okay. So this one is very simple. Okay. 4 divided by 1, right? Equals to 4. Because we want to know how many times, right? Yeah. Correct, wrong. Okay. Express Jai's salary as a fraction of their total salary in its simplest form. I want to know their total in terms of units, right? So, what is their total in terms of units? Jack? Hey, Damil, you know why I shut up or not? I cannot think of simpler questions than this, honestly. Yeah, I wish I can come up with simpler questions than whatever I'm asking you right now. You know, the best thing about you is you just capture my last statement. You just repeated my question, but you don't even know what you're talking about. You can just repeat my question because you just captured that. Yeah, but you don't even know what's happening. Do you even know what you just said? What's the question you repeated? That was not what you said. Do you remember what's your last statement? Your last statement, you repeated my question. But after repeating my question, you did not continue to answer it. Ten times this question, recess time later with Lauren. Colin now. How, what, 10? 10 what? How do you get 10 units? 5 plus 4 plus 1. My question was, okay, give me their total salary in units. Okay, so it's 5 plus 4 plus 1, which equals to 10. So I want to know Jai as a fraction of everything. Okay, so I want to have Jai. Jai is how many units?
4.
Okay, Jai over total equals to 4 over 10. Which equals to 2 over 5. Okay, next question. Okay. Two-thirds of the mass of a lobster. Yes, Colin Chi. Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's say Colin Chi has 5 times as much money as Colin Au. Right? So if Colin Au has one unit or $1, Colin Chi will have $5 or 5 units. Yeah, but at the end of the day, all the money is confiscated by Mr. Sia. Yeah. Okay, anyway. Let's look at this question. Okay, we are starting the real thing already. We need to know how to solve it. Okay, 2/3 of the mass of a lobster is equal to 3 over 8 of the mass of a king crab. Okay, so we need to be able to draw a model for this. We know lobster and king crab. And their mass is equal. This is 2/3. And this is 3 over 8. Okay? So, when it's 2/3, how many parts must I cut it into? 2 parts, right? If it's 3 over 8, how many parts must I cut it into? 3. So we know that for lobster, 2 parts, king crab, 3 parts, yet they are equal. Okay, they are equal. What do you think I should do next? Lowest common multiple in order to equalize them, right? When I do lowest common multiple, Okay, right? What is the lowest common multiple sky? 6. So when I do, that means it's 3 units here. 3 units. 2 units. 2 units. 2 units. Yep. Okay. So we know that this is only for 2/3. Okay. We need to make it into 1 whole. Another 3 units. Meaning that the total for lobster is how many units? 9 units, right? Then king crab. Since we know that king crab, sorry, it's not well written here. 3 over. Okay. Now this is 3 over 8. And you know that 1 over 8 is 2 units. Correct? 1 over 8 is 2 units. So what is 1 whole? 1 whole is how many units? 16 units, right? Okay. You need to add the 10 units here because it's like, so you add 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 2 units, 2 units, 2 units, 2 units. I know it's kind of like hard to write when I'm standing up. Yeah, I wish I got the luxury of sitting down because if I were to sit down, right, I cannot see who's paying attention, who's streaming. One of my wish is to have a tennis empire chair here. I'm not sure whether you are going to sponsor me for Teacher's Day so that I can sit at the top and I can look down and can see who's not paying attention. Yeah. Come on, the wire is so long. Just put it, extend it and just sit on top, like tennis empire. And then another thing, I don't buy a tennis empire chair. The next thing I need is, you know, those tennis trainer. No, not tennis racket. Those tennis trainer where they'll shoot the ball automatically. Then if you're not paying attention, I can turn the thing and start shooting at you. Yeah. That's my ultimate dream as a teacher. Right? Yeah, so if you can fulfill me this wish, I'll be very happy this Teacher's Day. Okay, tennis empire chair and a machine to shoot out the tennis ball. Okay, so, hey, hello. I'm actually quite accurate with the tennis ball. Your badminton skill is good, but it cannot stop a tennis ball. Really? You want to try? Yeah. Okay, anyway, the difference in their masses is 7 over 10 kg. So, what's the difference in their mass in terms of units? Right, Danish? 7 units. How do you get 7 units? 16 units minus 9 units. You get 7 units. And this is their difference and is equals to how many kg? Sorry? You were saying? No, I think he said more than that. He said 7 over 10, right? Yeah, hello. Please go and vacuum your ears if you all cannot hear him clearly. Okay?
Take the hand vacuum.
Take the hand vacuum nah. I'm not talking about the hand vacuum cleaner. The ear vacuum cleaner. There is a ear vacuum cleaner in case you do not know there's a ear vacuum cleaner. It's battery power. I don't think it's No, yeah. There is a ear vacuum cleaner. If you do not know such a thing exists, you can go to the pharmacy and then Guardian, Watson, Unity. I think they sell it. Okay, right. Okay, now, so we know that 7 units equals to 7 over 10, right? 1 unit equals to 1 over 10. Now the question is, I want to find the mass of the king crab. Mass of king crab is how many units? 16 units, right? Is actually 1 over 10 multiplied by 16 and get 16 over 10. But they want you to express as a mixed number in the simplest form. 1 whole 3 over 5. You can write down the answer. So remember ANS 1 3 over 5 kg. Remember to write the units, please. I want to say again, when I give you an answer, right, on the very rare occasion, it may be wrong. Most of the time, if I give you the answer, it should be a correct answer. So please do not go home. You get your own version of the answer, then you start correction taping my answer away and say that you are right. Okay? Yeah, in the very rare occasion that you are right, good for you. Okay? But please try not to cheat. And another thing is, do not force the answer out. You don't write, for this question, you don't write, say, oh, Mr. Xia say the answer is 135 kg. So, in order to get the answer, I just write 1 plus 3/5 equals to 135 kg. That is your working. You think it's funny. That's what I've been receiving from your class. Okay? Don't try to con me with this. It doesn't work. Okay, let's look at the next question. Okay, now please pay attention first. 2/5 of the length of a side table is equal to 1/10 of the length of a dining table. So you can see that again. So you have a side table, you have a dining table. And we know that they are equal for 2/5 and for 1/10. So 2/5 is how many parts? 2 parts, right? 1/10, of course, you don't need to subdivide it. Now, I have 2 units and 1 unit. What should I do next, Kaden? I need to do lowest common multiple. And what's my lowest common multiple in this case, Jack? Lowest common multiple is what? What do you say, Jack? I couldn't hear you. How do you get 10? Huh? I'm not asking you to copy anything. Damiel, throw the whole water bottle away. You're disturbing me. Adriana, tell me the answer. Sorry? The lowest common multiple is 2 units. Colin, you better put down your pen before I throw it away. Okay, so the lowest common multiple is 2 units. Because you can see 2 and 1, lowest common multiple is 2 units. So, next step to this model. I want to complete this model. What should I do next, Dinesh? Which means what should I do next to this model?
Yeah, but yeah, how?
How? Don't tell me use my hand and pen. Why don't you just tell me the next step is to make the model into one whole. From 2/5, make it into one whole. I want to make it into one whole, one complete model. Because now I'm having 2/5. I need to have the rest of my 3/5, yes or no? Okay, I have my 3/5 here. And 3/5 is how many units, Danish? So altogether, 5 units, right? Now, for my dining table, you know 1/10 is 2 units. To make it into one whole, Jing Kai, how many units is that? 20 units. Okay, I want to make it into one whole, I need to make it into 20 units. Which means I need another 18 units, right? 18 units for 9/10. So this is 9/10. And this is 18 units. Sometimes when the model gets too long, I do not subdivide it. It's going to be very time consuming. Okay? So, we know that the length of the side table is 165 cm shorter than the length of the dining table. So, how much shorter is the side table compared to the dining table in terms of units? Dylan Poe. Sorry? I can't hear you. How you get 15? So it's 15 units. The difference in units is 15 between the side and the dining table, yes? We also can do 18 minus 3. Fine, I'm fine with that as well. Okay? Right? So you get 15 units. And what is this equals to? MRP. 165. Okay, I'll go on to find my 1 unit. I want to say again, when I write 1 unit, usually I'll just tell you, okay, I'll just write down the answer here. But you as a student, you must write 165 divide by 15. You as the student, you must write 165 divide by 15. Although I never write it down here. Okay, you as the student, you must show me every single step. So 165 divided by 15, I get 11, right? Okay, you must show me the detailed working. What is the length of the dining table? Dining table is how many units, Belina? (20 units). So I know that I'm actually doing 11 multiplied by 20, which is equals to how much, Ernest? You don't need to use calculator for this. Equals to 220. No units. 220 units. CM or meters? So remember, write your units. Answer 220 cm. Yes? Sorry? What are you talking about? Of course I can. That means I get lesser marks during exam. No working marks shown. Hey, come on, even if it's the same thing, it's not. In what way are you faster? You're still doing the same set of calculation. You're just making yourself more prone to mistakes. If you condense all your steps together, okay, Colin was saying he wants to condense everything into one step using order of operations. If you make one slight mistake, everything is wrong. That's why I ask you to separate out your steps. Okay, let's look at the next one. You thought that was the last question. What is the last page of this exercise? Can you tell me? 86. And then we are only at 63. We have many more pages to go. Okay? If we cannot finish this set by today, we will not end math. Okay? Right, let's start. You go and ask Mr. Teo. What you ask me? When you come back, then you ask him. There are a lot of questions, right? We discussed during recess. Yeah, I got a lot of time for people with questions. Okay, 1A. Pupils in the school are divided into different groups. The table shows the number of boys and girls in each group. Complete the following table. So you can see that there's a pattern, right, for the boys. 2, 4, 6, 8, what? 10. What about for the girls? 20 and 30. So you know that they are increasing in multiples of 5. No need to write anything. Okay, all these are very simple. You can do it on your own. The ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls is what?
Wait, so you add everything. 12 over 30. Yeah, 12 is to 30. What is simplified?
Don't you need to simplify it?
Oh my god.
Why is it that you cannot write 2/5 as the answer? 2 is to 5. Why? Children, when we are looking at the ratio, why is it that I cannot just write 2 and 5? 2 is to 5. Why? Why? Because you all are telling me 12 is to 30. Huh? So, we cannot do... The table shows the number of boys and girls in each group. The ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls. We cannot do 2 is to 5. We can't? Because some of you were saying, I want to add it up. Let's say I add up everything. Add up and find the ratio. Doesn't it give me 2 is to 5 at the end? Then why is it that Dylan Poh, you want to add up? Okay lah, since Dylan Poh wants to be more hardworking, I let you add up everything, okay? No, cause you agree with me that after adding up, the ratio will still be the same, 2 is to 5. I give you a very simple example. Let's say I only add up 2 groups. 2 plus 4 is 6, right? 5 plus 10, 15, right? 6 is to 15, isn't it? 2 is to 5? I only add up 2 groups only. Okay, so let's not be too hardworking for this, okay? Right, so we have 2 is to 5. Yeah, we still get 2/5. That's why I was explaining. You mean you don't trust me? You have to check with your calculator? Okay, the number of boys is what of the number of girls? Jack. Hey, stop it. 2/5. Okay, 2/5 of the number of girls. Now, Yongjian, tell me what to fill in here. What's the answer here? 7. You can see it's 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, and after 35 is? 42 multiples of 7. And for the number of dogs is 4, 8, what? 12. So, Wendy, tell me what's the ratio of the number of cats to the number of dogs? 7 is to 4. Okay, and then the number of cats is what of the number of dogs, Kaden? 7/4. Anyone has any problem so far? Okay, let's look at the next question. City uses different number of tablespoons of water and jelly crystals to make some jelly. Complete the table. So 8, 16 what? 24, 32, 40, 48. Okay, Lauren, tell me what's the ratio? Eight is to 3. Lauren, again, tell me what's the next answer? Eight over 3. Okay, Mariam uses 5 grams of baking powder and 240 grams of flour to make a cake. Find the ratio of the amount of baking powder to the amount of flour. So, powder to flour. When I have powder to flour, Elliot. Okay, 5 is to 240. Dylan Poe, simplest form. 1 is to 48. Okay. Now, Mariam used 25 grams of baking powder. How much flour does she needs to use? So, powder, we know is actually, the simplest ratio is 1 is to 48, right? Correct or wrong? Yeah. So, if we have 25, what is it equals to, Isabel? $1,200. Okay, of course we cannot just write it 1,200 like this. This question we need to write ANS because there's a units to it. So please remember, write ANS 1,200 grams. Okay, please write it down now. Huh? You can use 240 times 5 as well, yes. Okay, next. She used 720 grams of flour. So now we know that this is 1 is to 48. And now flour is actually 720. Okay, how do we solve it? First, of this 720, I need to divide by 48, right? In order to get the answer this time round. Yes? So 720 divided by 48, Dylan Eldon, what do I get? 15. So I know I get 15. So please write down 15 ANS. 15 grams. Remember, write units, okay? Right, sorry, just now the previous question I didn't show you the working is 48 multiplied by 25. Okay? And you get 1,200. Okay? So, next question. Mariam wants to bake 4 cakes. How much powder and flour does she need to use? So, to bake a cake, what's the total mass of ingredients needed to bake one cake, Jingjie? 245 grams, right? To get one cake, you actually need to add 5 plus 240 and you get 245. 245. And this is for one cake. So 4 cake is 245 multiplied by 4. And what do you get? 980. So remember ANS 980 grams. Okay, a chef used salt and sugar in the ratio of 2:7 to make a sauce, right? The chef used 133 grams of sugar. How much salt does he use? Okay, we can actually solve this easily. So, total units to make the sauce. How many units? 9, right? So, what fraction of the 9 units is actually salt? 2/9, right? 2/9 of the salt. 2/9 of the sauce is actually salt. So in order to solve it, I just need to use 2/9 multiplied by 133. Yes? Okay, 2/9 multiplied by 133. What's the answer?
38.
Okay, 38. So we actually can get 38. So remember ANS 38 grams. Next. So a painter makes red and blue paint in a ratio of 4:9 to obtain purple paint. He used 12 liters of red paint. So how much blue paint did he use? Very simple. I know red is to blue is 4:9. Now I have red is 12. I need to find out blue, right? Yes? So all I need to do is 12 divided by 4 multiply by 9. Okay, and what do I get? 27. So 27. So ANS 27 liter. Okay. Okay. Mrs. Rama uses 3 types of fruit juice for a party. The ratio of the amount of watermelon juice to the amount of apple juice is 4:9. So watermelon to apple 4:9. The ratio of the amount of apple to orange is actually 27:14. In order to solve the question, first we need to come up with the ratio of watermelon is to apple is to orange. But what can we see here? Apple is actually 9. Then in the other case, it's actually 27 units, right? What do we need to do now? Lowest common multiple. And in this case, lowest common multiple is how much? 27. So what happens to the watermelon juice? Times 3, and what do I get? Okay, Sky, tell me what's the final ratio for our 3 items? (12 to 27 to 14). Can I simplify it? Can I simplify it? No, right? Okay. Find the ratio of the amount of watermelon juice to the amount of apple juice to the amount of orange juice in the simplest form. This is the final answer. Okay, remember to write your ANS. I will not be writing it here for you because I think it's time consuming. Okay, so ANS, you'll do it on your own. Next question. Okay, a bookstore sells cookbooks, novels and reference books. The ratio of the number of cookbooks to novels is actually 2:11. Now the number of cookbooks to the number of reference book is 3:4. They want to find the ratio of number of cookbooks to novels to reference books. So what is common in this case? Cookbooks, right? But I have 2 and I've got 3. What do I do next? And lowest common multiple is what, Jack? Hello, Jack. Are you sure? Okay, so we know the lowest common multiple to 6 is 6. Okay, so what must I do to this 11? It becomes 33. And this will be 6:2. So cookbooks to novels to reference book is this, right? Okay. Okay, next question. The amount of money Suri spends is 9/4 of the amount of money Linda spent. So, Suri is how many units, Colin Chi? So, how many units is Linda, Brandon? 4. Okay, so you know 9 units for Suri, 4 units for Linda. Linda spends $116. How much money does Suri spend? So, how many units equals to $116? Darryl? 4 units equals to $116. So that will allow us to find 1 unit. And 1 unit equals to what? 29. So how much money does Suri spend? So how many units am I looking for, Yongqian? Hey, the next person will shout the answer. You copy out 10 times, okay? So 29 times 9 equals to how much, Wendy? $261. Okay, so please write down $261. So Mari and Rizal enter a competition as a team. Rizal's score was 1/3 of Mari's score. So Mari's score is how many units, Xuan Wei? So Rizal's score is how many units, Yun Chong? Okay, so now what is the difference in their score in terms of units, Adriana? So we know the difference is 2 units, and we know that Mari scored 46 more points than Rizal. So 2 units equals to 46, right? Correct? So 1 unit equals to 23. How many points did both of them score all together? Lauren. Sorry? 23 times 4. Very good. Okay, but how many points did Marie score? How many units am I looking at? 3 units. So it's actually 23 multiplied by 3 equals to 69. The length of a rectangle is 6 times as long as its breadth. So I want to have the ratio of the length to the breadth. Okay, Isabel. 6 is to 1 because length is to breadth. Is 6 is to 1. Now, what fraction of the perimeter of the rectangle is the length of the rectangle? So is what over what? Let me see. Can we? Damian want to be a busybody, right? Later I'm going to test Sky before recess. Sorry? No, I'm asking you what over what. Tell me what is what over what. Then for B, Is it breadth over perimeter or length over perimeter or perimeter over length or perimeter over breadth or what? Jing Kai, agree with him or disagree? You sure? Huh? You sure? Huh? Sometimes he may be talking nonsense, you know. Jack, repeat what he just said. Yeah, can we? Hey, Jack, you are really you know, meet the parents. I don't know what to tell your parents. I don't know how to tell. Oh, hey, Jack, advise me. How should I tell your parents? Your parents ask, how's Jack in class? Then I'll like, my face will give you a question mark look and say, what, in class? When was he ever in it? Your parents, if they post me a question, then I'll ask them, is he ever in my class? I don't know, where is he? I couldn't find him. Yeah.
They're gonna think that he escaped school.
Seriously, how do you want me it's so hard for me to like tell parents. You're consistently not here.
Show them your video. The one that you post on the My Learning Hub or something. What's the website?
Kaylin, can we wait a while more or not? Let me finish. Okay, cool. Right, okay. Anyway, let's understand what they are trying to ask for here. They are asking for length over perimeter, right?
Yes.
And we know that the perimeter, okay, right, the length of a rectangle is 6 times as long as its breadth. So I heard people giving me 7 over 6 or what just now? I don't know how did this 7 over 6 come about. Okay, but let's clarify. Perimeter consists of how many lengths? 2 lengths. How many breadth? Okay, now I'm looking at perimeter. Now, I want to know the perimeter in terms of units, Yongqian. Which is equals to 14. Do you all agree that perimeter is 14 units? Yes. Okay, so we know perimeter is very important. You don't make careless mistakes. Some of you just told me what 7/6, which gives me an idea that your rectangle only have 1 breadth, 1 length. Okay, so we want the fraction of the perimeter is the length of the rectangle. So I'm looking at length over perimeter, right or wrong? Yes? Am I looking at length over perimeter? Yes. So length over perimeter. And we know that length is actually 6. Perimeter is 14. So what's the simplest fraction? 3/7. This is for part A. So write down A and S part A. Yeah, if it's given there, just write 3/7. Okay, part B. Find the ratio of the length of the rectangle to its breadth to its perimeter. So length to breadth to perimeter. Okay, I didn't know what the question was asking for, but now we know it's 6:1:14, right? Correct? So then part C. The perimeter of the rectangle is 336 cm. Find the length of the rectangle. Now, Ernest, form the equation for me. Fourteen units equals to 336. Okay, so we know that we need to find 1 unit. What is 1 unit? 24. We just need to divide by 14. Okay, now find the length of the rectangle. Rectangle is how many units? Leroy. Six what? 6 units stands for what? Okay, so I want to find the length of a rectangle, which is 6 units. And 24 multiplied by 6. What do I get, Leroy? 144, right? So please write 144 cm. Okay, 144 cm. Remember your units. Next question. Okay. Next. Li Zhen, Kara and Rose were typing. So you have 3 persons, Li Zhen, Kara and Rose. They are typing. Li Zhen typed twice as fast as Kara. The ratio, so we know that Li Zhen to Kara. Li Zhen is twice as fast. So what's the ratio, Ryan? 2:1. Next, we know that the ratio of the numbers Kara type, the ratio in which Rose type is actually 4:1. Okay, we need to find the ratio of the number of words Li Zhen type to Kara to Rose. So we know that which is the one that we need to make equal? Kara, right? So what's the lowest common multiple, Kaden? 4. So I know I need to make this to 4, and Li Zhen become 8. Huh? 8, right? Okay. So I've got 8 is to 4 is to 1. So that's the first answer, right or wrong? Okay, next. Kara typed 48 words. how many words did Li Zhen, Kara, and Rose type all together? So now Form the equation for me, Gabriel. Four units equals to 48. And when 4 units equals to 48, what is 1 unit? 12. Okay, now they are asking how many words did Li Zhen, Kara and Rose type all together. So how many units am I looking at, Sky? Which is? $13 units. You just need 8 plus 4 plus 1. 13 units. So 12 multiplied by 13, what do I get? 156. So 156 words. Okay, so 156 words. Next. The ratio of the number of marbles Zali had to a number of marbles Mutu had was 3:4. Okay, Mutu gave half of his marbles to Zali. Right, I think I need to write clearly. Okay, Mutu. Then this is 4. So Mutu gave half of his marbles to Zali. What was the new ratio of the number of Zali had? So you know that Mutu had 4 units of marbles, right? So if he gave half of his marbles to Zali, how many units did he give away?
2.
So if he gave away 2 units, how many units is he left with?
2.
Okay, so this is the before, right? Then after, since he gave away 2 units, he's left with 2 units. And how many units does Zali have? 5, right? So the answer is 5 is to 2. Next. Mrs. Neo has 2 packets of flour. The ratio of the mass of the flour in packet A to the mass in packet B is actually 1:2. Right? What A is to B is 1:2. Now, Mrs. Neo uses 1/3 of the flour in packet A and has 800 grams of flour left altogether. How much flour is there in packet B? So we know that, okay, when 1/3 of the flour in packet A was used, what fraction are we left with? Do you think that it's easier if I change this to 3 units? Do you think it's easier if I change it to 3 units? And what happens to my B? How many units does it become?
6.
So this is, so when you change this to 3:6, right? She uses 1/3. That means she used 1 unit, right? So she's used with left with how many units? 2 units, right? And these 2 units equals to how many grams? 800 grams, right? So 2 units equals to 800 grams. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Careless. So if I use this is my before, right? Correct? So after what happens? A is to B. 2:6, right? So 8 units equals to, so 1 unit equals to?
100.
How much flour is there in packet B? 6 units, right?
600.
And this is equals to 600 grams. Okay, next question. You are supposed to say 4 periods only. Okay, now Mr. Lim put some red pens and blue pens in a box. The ratio of the number of red to the number of blue. So red is to blue. Who's the one who's counting down? Makes me upset. Who's the one who says 16 more minutes? 16 more pages. I'm saying I feel upset. I'm not saying you are upset. I feel upset. Okay, so we know red pens to blue pen is 3:4. He put another 20 red pens into a box, and the ratio became 2:1. So we know this is the before. Okay, and our after ratio became, for red is to blue, became 2:1, right? Now, he put another 20 red pens. Okay, did he add any blue pens? Calling out. Sorry? He did not, right? He did not add any blue pens, right? So am I right to say that since one of the item, right, is unchanged, this question is one quantity unchanged question, right? Yes. Correct. And the quantity unchanged is the blue pens. So I look at my blue. Okay, since it's unchanged, should it remain as 4 at the end? Yeah. Yes or no? Yes. So I change my in the end ratio to 4. 8:4. Then I can compare these two. Okay, then I can compare these two ratio. Right? So, how many units did the red pens increase by, Isabel? Five units, right? And 5 units equals to how much, Charlotte? 20. So I know that 1 unit equals to 4. Now, how many red pens were there in the end? We know that red pens is how many units in the end? 8 units, right? So it will be 4 times 8. 32. So that's for part A. How many blue pens were there? So you can see that for blue pens, right, they did not say in the end, or did they say at first? Right or wrong? Why?
Because it's the same.
It's the same. And how many units is that? 4 units, right? And that will be 16. 4 times 4 equals to 16. I need to see my working out. 4 times 4. Do not just write 4 units equals 16. 32 divided by 2 is fine as well. Okay. The ratio of the number of cakes Anne had to the number of cakes Beth had was 5:2. Right? After Anne sold 28 cakes, the number of, this is the before. After she sold 28 cakes, Anne sold 28. The number of cakes Anne had, so I need to have the after ratio for Anne is to Beth, became 3:4. So the question now is, did Beth sell any cakes? No. So this is a similar one quantity unchanged question, right? Yes. So the before and after units for Beth should remain as how many units, Lauren? 4 units. So I need to change my before to 4. And we know that n at first is 10. So, how many units did n's cakes change by? Yun Chong? 7 units. You can see that n there's a change in 7 units from 10 to 3 units. And this 7 units is equals to how many cakes, Jack? Equals to 28 cakes. So we know that 1 unit equals to 4 cakes, right? How many cakes did n have at first? So how many cakes did n have at first in terms of units, Dylan? Then what? 10 units. And this will be 40. Sorry? Yeah. Normally I'll add the Eldon. Because Dylan pole was turning around. Okay, next question. The ratio of the number of goats in farm X to the number of goats in farm Y. So X is to Y. Is 9 is to 4. Right? After 35 goats were transferred from X to Y. So this is my before and my after. There was an equal number of goats in each farm. That means X is to Y. Equal number means what? 1 is to 1, right? Now we can see that we only transfer goats from X to Y. Okay? So when we only transfer from X to Y, what happens to the total? Total remains unchanged, right? Total remains unchanged. So we need to come up with another column for total. And what's the total for the before? And the total for after? So since the total remain unchanged, 2 and 13, what should I do next? And lowest common multiple, Shalene, what's the lowest common multiple? 26. So I need to make it into 26. So I actually get 18 is to 8. So 2, sorry, not 2. 13 is to 13 is to 26. So, how many goats were there in farm Y at first? So we know that 35 goats were transferred from X to Y. So since there's a transfer from X to Y, we can see that the number of units for the goats in X decrease, right? So what is the decrease in the number of units for X? 5 units, right? And 5 units equals to how much, Ernest? 35. So 1 unit equals to how much, Ernest? So what am I looking for, Ernest? How many goats were there in farm Y at first? So how many units were there in farm Y at first, Ernest? 8 units. So what's my answer, Ernest? $56. Next question.